what's up, queers? Whatever. I'm so tired. Let's see here. I'm an idiot. I didn't bring up the elevator music. Like a fucking dumbass. Ugh. Cool. You know what? Fuck it. Let's do this. Here's a little inside scoop that many creators are talking about behind the scenes. It's actually one of the reasons I'm using Rumble. They made a way to super chat creators so we get paid immediately and without any fees. YouTube and Twitch take up to 50% fees when you tip creators. This method takes none. That's right, the platform takes 0 fees. I keep nearly 100% of what you send me. You can super chat with Bitcoin, Tether USD, or even Tether Gold stablecoins. The tip will show up directly in our Rumble chat, which I'll do my best to read. All you need to do is download the Rumble wallet on the App Store and send the tips to your favorite creators. You can go to wallet.rumble.com or you can download the app directly from the app stores. Seriously, what an amazing way to get rid of the middleman and help the creator economy. Shout out to Rumble for making this disruptive technology. Cool. Thank you for my $13. Is it a coffee subscription? Oh, thank God you showed up. Cringe. Fucking email me or get in touch with me somehow. Your specific talents can help me do a thing. Dumpire said I sent a tip to the FBI about you, Virgie. Oh, cool. So, like, you're like all those other guys. Thank you, Cringe. Yeah, hit me up, like, however. I don't care. It doesn't matter. I'll find it. I'll check my emails and whatnot. So I just noticed this. Flesh Simulator has privated all of his other videos. Except for one. This one that's on the screen here. I don't know if I played his fucking crazy fucking red face paint video. But he was going back and forth with like some Discord tranny communists that were fucking like trying to like dox his family and shit and fucking with him, and yeah, he went like nuclear on these motherfuckers. Man, where is that video? Fuck. Lucas might have sent it to me. I imagine he's not gonna leave his videos fucking unlisted or privated forever. Let me see if he deleted them. Because I have a link to another video. Yep, he privated everything. You can't watch any of his other videos. That's fucking wild. think I remember your email. It's thewrongneighborhoodmedia@gmail.com. The wrong neighborhood media@gmail.com. There you go. Yes. I need your help with something that will be really funny. Sorry, I'm scratching my back. All right. So Flesh here had a video. He put it out fucking like a week or two ago. I cannot for the life of me remember if we watched it here. I don't think we did. He like painted his face red and shit and like was doing the Flesh Simulator thing. You know, he's being a fucking psycho and talking about these fucking commies and shit, basically just going over what had happened. I'm curious as to what this is.
Well, this was originally going to be a lot more satisfying of a video. But the problem with long, risky, complex, complicated plans is that occasionally a bystander will feel the need to get involved and try to derail your plan, and also try to ruin your career and defame you, in the hopes of making a name for himself. And you are forced to initiate legal proceedings, and then your lawyer makes you redact about 75% of the video that you made to explain what the fuck is going on. Not in the Fifth Amendment sense, but in the, oh yeah, no, don't spoil this lawsuit on this sense. Now, with that out of the way, let's see what is still available.
Hi guys, last video.
And Flesh Simulator brought this up the other day on Twitter, and I didn't know this. Did you know it's illegal to dox somebody from Virginia? Yeah, because they, like, these commies, like, doxed his family and shit. Like, in the way the law is written, from what I gathered from it, here, hold on, let's go ahead and double check this. Virginia anti-doxing law. Yeah, here you go. Use of a person's identity to coerce, intimidate, or harass. It is unlawful to publish a person's name, photograph, or identifying information, including their primary residence address, with the intent to coerce, intimidate, or harass. This is a Class 1 misdemeanor carrying penalties of up to 12 months in jail and a $2,500 fine. Copy. It shall be unlawful for any person with the intent to coerce, intimidate, or harass another person to publish the person's name or photograph alongside with identifying information as defined in clauses 3 through 9 or clause 12 of subsection C of 18.2-186.3 or identification of the person's primary residence address. Any person who violates this section is guilty of a Class 1 misdemeanor. Any person who violates this section, knowing or having reason to know that person is a law enforcement officer as defined, or an active or retired federal or Virginia justice, judge, or magistrate, is guilty of a Class 6 felony. Let's see. Identity theft, penalty, restitution, victim assistance. Shall be unlawful for any person... Hold on a second. With identifying information as defined in clauses 3 through 9, or clause 12. So 3 through 9 is obtain identification documents in such person's name, or obtain, record, or access identifying information while impersonating a law enforcement officer. Unlawful for any person without the authorization or permission of the person who is the subject of the identifying information with the intent to sell or distribute the information to another, to fraudulently obtain, record, or access identifying information that is not available to the general public, obtain money, credit loans, goods, or services through the use of identifying information, obtain identification documents in such other person's name, obtain, record, or access a blah, 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 blah. It shall be unlawful for any person to use identification documents or identifying information of another person, blah, 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 blah. Hold on. Yeah, so the way that this is written, it doesn't even matter if, like, the person's already been doxxed. Like, if you just publish the shit in a way that's meant to harass somebody at all, it is a class 1 misdemeanor. Or even intimidate. Interesting. I did not know that.
Sure was weird, huh? Well, amidst the drama of the week, you may have forgotten about a little encrypted text file that I posted on Twitter. And now, before I get into what's in that, let's, for legal reasons, go over the chronology of this entire ridiculous ordeal.
Frozen Asian said so JJ has a case against a certain someone. I don't know who the certain someone is, but, yeah, like, if fucking anybody's ever published any of JJ's shit, that's a class 1 misdemeanor.
As this is going on, a mystery benefactor says they have... this will be important.
Wait, what?
As what's in that, let's, for legal reasons, go over the chronology of this entire ridiculous ordeal.
Pursuant to the recommendation of counsel, this section has been redacted due to ongoing litigation.
As this is going on, a mystery benefactor says they have... this will be important later. He then immediately... torturing a monkey. Now, this is the context in which we start. This is not a optimal situation to be in. The issue that I have here, in addition to the obvious, not wanting to... Who is the group that has been... It's not just an individual, it's apparently a group. So, what's the plan? The plan is the parlay. Now, something to remember is that people always wind up getting sloppy and make mistakes when they think they're winning. The way to do this is the parlay, as I call it. Remember the encrypted text file that I uploaded? Well, this is basically a point-by-point prediction from several days in the past of how this thing was going to play out, all right? Now, because this is a very strange and high-risk and complicated and convoluted plan, I needed a way to, in the future, have sort of a time-stamped way to go back and prove to people that, no, I do, in fact, know what I was doing. So what do? I upload an encrypted zip file to Twitter. It contains the text file you will be reading shortly. I buy some fake blood. I go on Squarespace and I buy the domain live for reasons that we'll get to later. Now, if you're following along at home so far, and you want to go download that, the password is...
yes.
so far, and you want to go download that, the password is...
Yes, I know it defeats the point, but this was not how I planned on this part going.
All lowercase, no spaces. Let's go through my predictions of how this whole debacle would play out. Uploaded days and days ago.
Check.
Lie and say... I didn't. I just wanted to, get this out there.
The whole video is redacted.
Hassan fanboys pile
Sorry.
on and start doxing me even more once they see that I'm not fighting back and just lolcowing out. They think that they're safe. Proceed to lolcow out. Stop posting to make them think they bullied me off of Twitter. Next, this is the fun part. Paint myself red for the Izzot nuke video. Now, a big clue here probably should have been the fact that this is a video I made ostensibly going after Hassan Piker, named after the infamously ineffective content nuke video about Hassan Piker. But I guess subtlety is a lost art these days. Next. Release video sharing 1% at most of I created the Izzot Score website at. You can check that anytime. Now here's the part where it starts getting fun.
God, I hope he drops this video one day, just fucking unredacted.
Blah, 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 blah. No one seems to appreciate the artistry with which I was. Fortune favors the bold, but it doesn't favor the subtle. Bait more hardcore and more influential lefties into reacting to or making fun of a video that's actually 80% just like straight up far-right propaganda. Also, by the way, yes, that's what it was. That's why so many of you were like, something about the last 4/5 of this video seem weird. Yeah, it's a far-right propaganda piece dead set on destroying left-wing solidarity. Idiot. Man, what a weird gay insult.
Hassan Piker sees weird gay insult to his Izzot and crashes out about it because he's weird and gay. Asmongold sees Hassan crashing out and getting mad at the Izzot score and seizes on it. Hassan gets insanely fucking mad and crashes out.
Well, you just made a downvote website and try to meme it into the common consciousness. It did get into the common consciousness. Next. Asmongold sees Hassan crashing out and getting mad at the Izzot score and seizes on it. I really was expecting this to happen. Sadly, however, it did not. This is the part that's really funny. So Jake Chinatown on Twitter is dead now. But his last post before he got sent to the glue factory upstate was this.
Wait, what did he say?
Glue factory upstate.
I'm also not even 200 pounds, let alone 300, and I don't know if I've ever even spoken to an e-girl, but I certainly have never blackmailed one.
Was this. And finally, Hassan gets A-logged about his Izzot and employing an alt-right sex creep by Asmon's and H3H3's fans until he melts down and tries to threaten me covered in red paint or fake blood himself. And then... Now, unfortunately, I did not hit the last two legs of this parlay. I was banking on Asmongold, seeing the insane pointlessness of the Izzot counter, and realizing he could drive Hassan to actual madness if he just kept treating it like it was making an actual point. So, unfortunately, we don't get to clip Hassan melting down on stream over, guys, it's not even accurately calculating my Izzot. Which is a bummer. Granted, he did immediately personally permaban me from his stream because I joined and subscribed under the name 303,000 Lost Izzot. So suffice to say, he is at least aware now. To end this whole saga with, na I made your idol hate you. Something more interesting and unexpected happened. Racial slurs and defamation suit. However, bring a bomb onto a... Good luck with however that turns out for you. When I was looking through the small handful of accounts that this account followed, I noticed a familiar name. C. Elegans, or @TheElegantWorm. Why is this significant? Well, do you remember Jay from the whole Liquid J affair? Remember how for a while I was convinced there was a group of 4 or 5 communist conspiracy theory accounts who were all friends who kind of all, like, started harassing me in an organized manner out of bitterness that serial killing for fun and profit got a lot of attention. Well, well, well. You know who was one of Jay's closest friends in that circle? Apart from Glenn the Golden, who was originally going to be in Fun and Profit and had to be cut from it just because the segment he submitted was about Jeffrey Epstein and not about anyone in that thing. None other than C. elegans. C. elegans, also, related subsidiaries. Now, let's look back. We've collected info on 3 generations of his family. We? Now, I had this C. elegans guy blocked and was just ignoring him since all he did really was bitch about me, and I thought that would be the extent of it. As a result, I did not see that he'd been weighing in on this since the beginning. I also didn't see this post.
Guy just whined at me for a bit and then blocked me because I kept calling him a stupid loser. I guess he couldn't dox me.
Guess he couldn't dox me. Okay, here's a question for the audience. Given everything that's happened, do you think that is a good idea to say, or do you think that is a bad idea to say?
Really, really bad?
Really, really bad. Anyways, about 6 minutes later, after seeing this post and beginning to look through your public records, I noticed a couple of funny coincidences. You're also... You went to... And... Uh-oh. Oh, that can't be good. You work for... And you post stuff about how you want Iran to sink an aircraft carrier? Remember how, like, up until, like, last year, Twitter would return the email address attached to an account if you pinged it through the API? And how you started, like, coming after me more than a year ago? Mr. First Initial, uncommonly spelled last name, thebold@gmail.com. We wish him well.
Ruh-roh.
We now have the Flesh Simulator morale patches.
I'm trying to figure out if he's a schizo reading into this shit or someone actively trying to push this shit into reality. Buddy, he's the one who started the Hassan Izzat site that Hassan, like, melted down over recently. Like, he did all this. Like, he's not just pulling shit out of his ass.
In stock at crushiki.com, or shortly. And because of how goddamn annoying this past week has been, and also because fuck you, I'm donating 50% of the proceeds to the John Birch Society, because communists are not people, and McCarthy did not go far enough. I'm playing the song again. I'm better!
I just wish that fucking his shit was up so I could fucking show fucking, like, who Flesh Simulator is in his other shit. The only thing he still has up is shorts. Cop Cars Are Free is a great video.
1284X key. What does it cost? About $10 to $14. What does it unlock? Essentially all P-71 Panther body Ford Crown Victoria Police Interceptor fleet vehicles. For example, taxi cabs. Now, I'm sharing this simply as a public service announcement to anyone driving one of these who hasn't changed their locks yet, that you really need to change your locks. Anyone can get into one of these. Additionally, I would strongly advise against any kind of shenanigans relating to this information, because at least here in the US, this will likely be the last shenanigan you pull for anywhere between 5 years and ever. This is 1284X.
Reddit is a psyop?
Let's wind the clock back to 2014. Don't worry, this is all leading somewhere. In 2014, Reddit's year-end blog post had
Arnold
taken down.
Nicotina said, "Look upon his great works."
After it turns out they didn't exactly vet
This dude is a fucking lunatic. He rules, bro. Flesh Simulator fucking rules.
the analytics data for accidentally including the truth. Now, this post has long since been deleted, presumably for totally legitimate and completely unrelated reasons, but thankfully we can find the original version on the Internet Archive. Well, until that gets shut down too, at least. Most Reddit-addicted city with over 100,000 visitors. Huh, Eglin Air Force Base. Hang on a second. How many people are there at Eglin? 2,448? And wait a second. Most Reddit-addicted city with more than how many visitors? 100,000? That's at least 97,000. Too many visitors! Let's wind the clock back to Thankfully, we can find the original version on the Internet Archive. Well, until that gets shut down too, at least. Most Reddit-addicted city with over 100,000 visitors. Huh, Eglin Air Force Base. Hang on a second. How many people are there at Eglin? 2,448?
So this is something that's both interesting enough and time-sensitive enough that it's compelled me to make a front-facing phone camera video. Someone on Twitter, the account @RegularPikachu, just tagged me in a post, basically saying that if you go and look at the internet outage reporting websites, it looks like, there's a bunch of connection problems at Eglin Air Force Base. And they thought, let's go look at Reddit. And if you go to Reddit, the vibe and tone of the comment section, and what's getting reported or not, is completely different. It feels organic for the first time in years. So that's, well, who knows how long this will last. That's an interesting coincidence for sure, though.
Fucking Arnold Nicotina said he's doing genteel gematria. That's how you pronounce that, right? I think that's how you pronounce that.
Enough that it's compelled me to make a...
Oh, this is cool and not schizo related.
This IKEA power strip into a distortion pedal. So the reason this is able to affect sound is this switch right here. See, when you crack one of these open, you'll notice it has a neon bulb inside. Then, if I run the guitar signal the wrong direction through a transformer I pulled out of a laptop power brick, it'll bring the voltage up high enough to strike an arc. Here's the schematic for a slightly less janky method. If you do choose to make one of these out of a power strip, though, please do yourself a favor and cut the wires going to the plug. Because if you don't, and you plug it in, you will end up with a very eigenverted...
What? Weirdest facts about Coca-Cola.
Without the caramel coloring, the actual color of Coca-Cola wouldn't be brown. It would actually be green. 2. In 2001, Coca-Cola was sued over allegations that they had paid a paramilitary death squad to do stuff to workers at a bottling plant in Colombia who allegedly had ties to local trade unions. The United Self-Defense Forces of Colombia, or the Auto Defensas Unidas de Colombia, was a far-right paramilitary death squad and drug trafficking organization active from about 1997 to 2006. The case was dismissed by a U.S. court on the basis of the crimes not having occurred in the U.S. 3. The characteristic sharp, snappy zing that you smell when you open up a bottle of Coca-Cola is phosphoric acid. Fun fact. The color of Coca-Cola wouldn't be brown. It would actually be green. 2. In 2001, Coca-Cola was sued over allegations that they had paid a paramilitary death squad to do stuff to workers at a bottling plant in Colombia who allegedly had ties to local trade unions.
Hey, Logatog, you would love this guy. He rules. It's a shame that I'm showing him to you for the first time when he only has this video up, because he's had, dude, he has so many great videos. He's got this one, called fucking, what was it called again? Fuck. But the video is about fucking John Wayne Gacy and the Candyman murders and shit. That dude who was getting the teenagers to bring him kids to rape and murder. And he was burying them in his fucking his candy factory. I can't remember this fucking name. And John Wayne Gacy and their connections to fucking child pornographers and fucking all kinds of wild fucking government ties and Democrat ties and fucking dude, it's such a good fucking crazy terrifying fucking video. God, I'm trying to remember some of his other shit. He has a lot of really fucking good content, dude. Really, really good shit. It's just right now he's doing a thing. His podcast is really fucking thing that he does is really good too. That's on Flesh Emulator. Should ICE get to kill? This is episode 12. Should ICE get to kill everyone in the world? Yes, and they must. Oh, fuck. Yeah, dude's a schizo, bro. He rules, man. And his Twitter's very fucking funny, too. Here, I'll post the link to Flesh Emulator. And then I'll post the link to his actual channel, even though there's really nothing on it right now. Bro, fucking, I knew a lot about the John Wayne Gacy shit and his ties to fucking, Democrats and whatnot. But there were definitely some things in that video of his that I had no fucking idea about. And one of the things Dean Carroll was the Candyman, name. Dean Carroll had ties to a child. Basically, they were selling snuff films of fucking kids getting raped and murdered. And he had ties to a fucking child pornography ring where one of the dudes legit was shipping a pallet with a crate of child porn. And somehow the shipment was damaged, and fucking the fucking airport staff fucking found out what was inside the pallet, and they called him up and were like, hey, your pallet of child porn is leaking all over the airport. You have to come get it. And then he went up there and got it, and they let him leave. And he wasn't investigated for it for months later. One of the dudes in this fucking CP ring was using the prison's printers to print like flyers and advertisements to send out to his mailing list of fucking child porn consumers, dude. Like, it's fucking insane. I wonder if I can find that fucking video somewhere else, dude. Hold on. See you later, John. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Thank you, Flesh.
Recently, there was a documentary series called Quiet on Set released about the dark world of Nickelodeon sitcoms.
He uploaded it to the fucking Internet Archive himself, which is based.
One of the revelations in particular involved the conduct of a producer by the name of Brian Peck. It was quickly discovered that Peck was a pen pal of the 1970s serial killer John Wayne Gacy. This has very little to do with the rest of this video, apart from the fact that it's topical and resulted in the search down the rabbit hole that we're about to go on. This is not a cheerful video, and for obvious reasons, consider yourself to have been warned. Hey, hold on. Why are we talking about John Wayne Gacy all of a sudden? I thought this was going to be about the guy from last time, like the eyebrow guy, Michael Aquino. Because I need to give a bunch of background information, and I need to involve like a bunch of characters in this, and like so I can dramatically tie them in later. Like,
yeah, if you don't know about Michael Aquino, that's another fucking rabbit hole to jump down. Michael Aquino, was an Air Force guy? I think he was an Air Force dude. Originally? No, U.S. Army, sorry. Michael Aquino was an American political scientist, military officer, and Satanist. He was the founder and high priest of the Temple of Set. Aquino was also a specialist in psychological warfare for military intelligence and an officer in the U.S. Army. In 1969, he joined the Church of Satan, led by Anton LaVey, and quickly rose through the ranks of the group. By 1971, Aquino had been appointed Magister Caverns of the fourth degree within the church hierarchy, was the editor of the publication The Cloven Hoof, and sat on the governing council of the Nine. His career in Satanism was paused when he went on to work in the military. He was a Satanist and was high up in the church of fucking Satan before he got into the military. He met LaVey at a screening of Rosemary's Baby, where LaVey gave him his business card. They grew to be very close. However, conflicts arose over time between LaVey and Aquino regarding the direction of the group. The latter rejected LaVey's atheism and materialism. So, Aquino had a falling out with LaVey because he wasn't Satanist enough. Concurrent with the United States satanic panic in November 1986, the San Francisco police began investigating allegations of sexual abuse in connection with the Army's Child Development Center and the Presidio of San Francisco. A girl came forward in August 1987 and identified Aquino as the culprit. At least 58 out of 100 children who attended the daycare center showed physical and mental signs of sexual abuse, leading to a lawsuit by the parents for $60 million in damages. An investigation against Aquino was launched, but it was closed after insufficient evidence was found. The investigation led to Aquino becoming a frequent target of conspiracy theories. Aquino sued as the result of two books that implied he was guilty in the case, Painted Black by Carl Raschke and The New Satanist by Linda Blood. Blood was a former member of the Temple of Set. Aquino alleged the book defamed him in the Temple of Set. The case was settled out of court. Publications, Psychological Warfare, From PSYOP to Mind War. the neutron bomb, Mind War, Mind Star, Find Far. Yeah, so basically, this dude wrote a bunch of books on, like, psyoping the public and also demon worship. Huge dude in the military. Uh, yeah, he literally wrote the book on how the government and the CIA are, like, currently actively destroying the minds of fucking everyone on planet Earth. Oh, and in case you were wondering what he looked like, this fucking guy. Give me 2 seconds. I gotta take care of children right quick. I'll only be a second. See, unlike Ralph, my kids, they, like, live with me. I know it's a weird concept. I had 2 white babies. What have you done, Mersh? I don't know, man. Maybe not, like, had 2 kids that are gonna get raised in a household with a revolving door of black boyfriends fucking telling them when their bedtime is. I don't know, something like that.
Hush. Between the years of 1973 and 1978, a Chicago man by the name of John Wayne Gacy proved the stereotypes about clowns to be correct by becoming, up to that point, the most prolific serial killer in American history, immediately beating the previous record held by the Houston mass murders. However, Gacy was something of an outlier amongst serial killers. While serial killers...
What? I'm still here, right? Everything's still good? Where... God damn it. I don't know why it did that.
Recently, there was a documentary. Between the years of 1973 and 1978, a Chicago man by the name of John Wayne Gacy proved the stereotypes about clowns to be correct by becoming, up to that point, the most prolific serial killer in American history, immediately beating the previous record held by the Houston mass murders. However, Gacy was something of an outlier amongst serial killers. While serial killers typically tend to be antisocial or asocial, drifters, uneducated or poorly educated, aggressive, and frequently unemployed or underemployed, Gacy was widely loved by his community, due in part to performing as a clown on holidays and at, birthday parties. He was civic-minded. He was a college graduate, somewhat passive, successful. He was, a manager of several KFC franchises in Iowa. Later, he owned a small business running a company in Chicago called PDM Contractors. Gacy was also a very active member of an organization known as the Junior Chamber of Commerce, or the Jaycees. This was a leadership and politics organization targeted at young professionals to facilitate networking and honing political skills. Famous Jaycees alumni include Bill Clinton, Richard Nixon, Ronald Reagan, serial killer Edmund Kemper, and Bill Gates. The Chicago Jaycees chapter is known for having a strong connection to Chicago politics and the Chicago Democratic Party, of which Gacy was also involved, at least at an organizational level. However, this all goes to show you that you cannot trust clowns, because he sexually assaulted, sometimes tortured, and then killed about 33 young men and buried the majority of them in his crawlspace. In prison, after his arrest, he claimed to not have operated alone, and said that he had help with the logistics of the killings and that he had recorded videos of many of the murders for distribution. In addition, at least one of the murders took place while he was confirmed to have been out of town. Now, unsurprisingly, it's pretty hard to argue your way out of finding even one dead body in your crawlspace, let alone more than 30. So the official stance on these murders is that Gacy acted alone with no accomplices. The good old lone wolf serial killer pornographer. Let's turn our attention now to Houston, Texas, and the mass murders of the same name. Between 1970 and 1973, at least 28 boys and young men were kidnapped.
I just emailed you back, cringe.
Tortured, sexually assaulted, and murdered by this guy right here, Dean Corll. Corll was born in Indiana and moved between Indiana and Texas several times through his childhood and adolescence. In 1962, at the age of 22, he returned to Houston, where he would live for the remainder of his life. For the next 8 years, there's little to note of Corll's activities apart from reports of, sexually inappropriate advances in behavior towards young male employees of his candy company. But in
This is just AI, dog. This is just a quick fucking AI thing for image reaction. This Jim Jam is just a plugin for OBS that you can find on the OBS forum. It is literally just called Image React or Image Reaction. All it does is take your mic signal and over a certain threshold switch between two pictures. So for this one, all I did was have Grok make the character, and then you get the resting face right and get the resting thing how you want, and then you get the resting jam, all of that fine. Then in one prompt, you tell Grok to make the background a green screen. The prompt should say something like, make the background a green screen, do not alter the character at all, or something like that. And then your next prompt after that would be, make the character's mouth open like they're talking. Do not change anything else about the character in any way, shape, or form. And that'll get you there.
70, though, Corll would crank up the dial on the murder meter with the aid of teenage accomplices Elmer Wayne Henley and David Owen Brooks. For every victim...
If you want to go the image route, though, there is a free program on Steam, and you can also get it without Steam, called PingTuber Plus, PNG Tuber Plus, that I'm going to start using. I just haven't had time to set it up yet, because it's going to take a couple hours for me to get everything right and whatnot. PingTuber Plus has a lot more functionality, and just a lot more options and shit that you can play with. PingTuber takes you basically set it up like separate sprites that build the fucking character. So like you would have a sprite for their head, you'd have a sprite for the body, a sprite for the arms and whatnot. That way everything can move independently and shit. And you can even cycle through like sprite sheets. So you can fucking, sprite sheet out your own animation for the character and have it set up to where like there's static motion and or not static, idle fucking like animations and shit to go with it.
That they led to Coral's apartment. Coral paid them $200, or about $1,600 adjusted for inflation. Oh, well, for $1,600 I can understand. When questioned by his accomplices, like what the boys were for, Coral told them that he was part of a ring based out of Dallas that bought and sold boys, and trafficked in drugs and snuff films. Following this revelation, the reaction of Henley and Brooks was more or less like, yeah, okay, whatever. Coral also claimed to the pair that he wasn't doing the killing, he was just selling them to people to be killed. Which, I'll be honest, is kind of like a weird thing to lie about. It's not better. It's not an improvement. But before long, Henley and Brooks began to assist with the murders themselves, too, which I guess isn't terribly surprising. Coral's killing spree only came to an end after he was himself killed by Henley. Henley brought over two of his friends to Coral's apartment to hang out and smoke pot and drink beer and sniff paint, but wound up enraging Coral due to the fact that one of the friends he brought was a girl. Henley explained that his female friend just needed to get out of her house for the night because she was...
Yeah, if you want to go the 3D route for VTube shit, my recommendations are VTube Studio is fine, albeit a little bit too complicated in some regards. Like, it's going to take you a little fiddle fucking with. And Animaze is good, but expensive. Like, it's not that expensive. But it's a cost. You know what I mean? And then, fuck, what is the thing that I use? Vroid Studio. Here, Vroid Studio is free, and comes with more than enough stuff to make a basic, like, VTube avatar. I have one that I use occasionally. I don't, because, like, Animaze and shit is just so taxing on a system while you're playing video games. Is why I switched to fucking using this image react thing, and I just haven't fucking... I'm a lazy piece of shit, and if I don't have to open up Animaze, I'm not gonna. So I haven't had to, so I haven't. But Animaze makes it very easy to do, like the 3D shit, but also, like, tracking and whatnot. If you have an iPhone, the fucking tracking is very good.
Right of her drunk father, which seemed to calm Coral down a little bit. God damn, her dad must have been drunk to have it be preferable to have her be babysit by Dean Coral. But, anyways, just to skip to the relevant bits, Henley wound up shooting Coral, confessing to be an accomplice to the murders, relaying what Coral had told him about the Dallas ring, etc. The police initially did not believe Henley about the other victims, though, and only wound up looking into what he was saying after he was able to recall the names of 3 missing Houston area boys. Now, Coral was posthumously charged with the murders of 28 people, although Brooks and Henley both insisted that there were more victims whose bodies hadn't been recovered. However, the Houston Police Department wound up calling off the search for bodies after the 26th and 27th bodies were found tied together. This is believed to be due to the fact that up until this point, the U.S. KDR record was held by Juan Corona with a 25-1, and once that was, once they'd beaten that, it's like, okay, fuck the rest of them. This was highly criticized due to the fact that no fewer than 42 boys and young men vanished from the Houston area between 1970 and 1973. Meanwhile, in Dallas, on August 13th, 1973, only 5 days after Coral's death, police raided the apartment of a certain John Norman after receiving a tip about a possible homosexual prostitution ring. John Norman was at this point 46 and had already accumulated a pretty sizable pervert rap sheet, having been arrested in Houston for sexual assault in 1954, 1956, 1960, in California for sexual assault in 1963, and in 1970 was convicted on federal charges of distributing obscene material and sentenced to 15 months in prison.
Here you go, buddy. This is a link straight to the Image React plugin. Honestly, dude, the Image React thing is, I would set that up first and get that how you like it, and then play with the other shit. Because, like, everything else with VTubing is a lot of fucking trial and error, and it's a lot of figuring out what the fuck works best for you in your system and, like, what you're doing streaming.
Following his
And I have done all of it. I have fucking used 3D shit. I've done fucking like mocapping. I've done fucking like just camera tracking, fucking like controller movements, like using an Xbox controller for animations. I've done like streams entirely in VR, in like a VR fucking space as the avatar, in with like a fucking with an Oculus. I've done all of it. It's a bunch of shit, dog. The easiest, quickest way to just have something on the fucking screen and fucking not deal with a bunch of bullshit is just the Image React thing, dog.
Released in 1971, he set up the Odyssey Foundation, the sex trafficking ring for which he was being raided in media res.
I did. Fuck you, Cringe. Cringe said failed at puppetry, though. Only one stream. I did 2 streams with the sock puppet. Thank you.
He's found photos and contact.
I also just had to find him today, too, because I'm going to take a bunch of pictures of it and fucking video and set up the PingTuber thing with a fucking, like a PingTuber collage of the sock puppet.
Info for teenage boys, along with catalogs intended for distribution to clients.
The sock puppet was my favorite, though. That's absolutely my favorite way to do everything. The fucking sock puppet ruled. I've been thinking about maybe trying to, like, build a box that, like, sits on a stand, because I have a couple stands still from fucking the green screen thing. Like, that sits on it, like, just build, like, a fucking wood box that sits on, like, a mic stand. With a camera, like, preset in it, and just some, like, LED lights in it, and then fucking paint the whole fucking inside of it green, and then have, like, a hole where I can fucking stick my hand into the thing for the fucking, for the sock puppet. And if I had it in, like, a self-contained box where, like, I don't have to do anything but plug in the cable for the fucking, for the camera, then I would do the sock puppet thing again.
These included photographs of the boys, referred to in the literature and also hereafter in the video as fellows, that you could pay to sponsor in exchange for 2 to 3 days of company. Additionally, the Dallas police found a client list of his, consisting of a filing cabinet full of about 30,000 pink index cards, with between 50 and 100,000 names of clients, along with their contact info and sexual preferences. These were then passed on to the State Department for further investigation. Oh, so they went on and, like, arrested all the clients sponsoring the fellas, right? Haha. No, of course not. They declared the index cards irrelevant to the investigation and then burned them. As a side note, in 1977, a Dallas police lieutenant named Harold Hancock.
So, the authorities found a file cabinet full of basically everybody in the United States that was consuming child porn, and then said, no, let's not knock on any of their doors. That's irrelevant.
Testified that the client list included high-ranking government.
Now, I've done a sock puppet before. It just was kind of a pain in the ass because I was doing it like how you would, like, just do normal streaming with like a green screen and a webcam and shit set up. And just like with the webcam pointed at my fucking arm with the sock puppet instead of at me. And just setting up the fucking green screen and lights and everything, it was gay. I hated it. It sucked. I didn't like it. But if I could have a thing where all I have to do is fucking, move it to a spot next to my desk and then stick my fucking arm in it, like, I'd be happy to do the fucking sock puppet again.
Officials and prominent public figures and celebrities. So I guess they've just always
because it was all their superiors. Yeah, basically.
Been like that. As a result of the raid, Norman was charged with possession of marijuana, contributing to the delinquency of a minor, and conspiracy to commit sodomy. He was then released on bail and immediately fled to the great state of Illinois, in particular Chicago. Now, it seems like I'm jumping around here, but bear with me. These threads connect. In 1975, there was an investigation undertaken in California into a potential distribution network for, how should I put this? The worst type of film you can watch. 8mm starring Nicolas Cage? Yeah, close. All right, yeah, close enough. What wound up being uncovered by the bust included video taken of the torture and murder of at least 11 of the victims of Dean Corll, mixed in with an enormous array of photographs, film reels, film negatives, contact sheets, Polaroids, slides. Now, this isn't important, but there's something darkly funny about the concept of someone choosing to document a murder on slide film. Like, so does that mean, like, the operation has a darkroom and, like, a film development tech? Like, you can't take that to a lab.
I told him you got a meter for the blood, not for the skin. Now I gotta do this shit again, god damn
it. Jesus Christ!
A lot of credibility to Corll.
Nightwave Radio tip 2 for an N. Can we get a tower? Can we get a tower tonight?
Claims of a Dallas-based operation dealing in human trafficking and distribution of snuff films. Back to Norman. After fleeing Dallas and moving to Chicago, he began living under a different name, Steve Gurwell, because it was the 70s and you used to just be able to do that. Following getting that sorted out, he immediately went and molested at least 10 teenage boys. By November, and keep in mind, he left in August, late August, early September. So by November, the cops were, on the lookout following multiple reports of a Steve Gurwell moving in and starting to molest everyone around him. On the 14th of November, Norman was arrested and charged with 5 counts of indecent liberty.
Oh, damn, I didn't see that you guys fucking tried an N tower earlier. I'm retarded. A Swift tip 3 for an N, Rhea tip 2 for an I, Chase the Train tip 2 for a G, and then he tipped 2 for another G, and then you niggas slacked off. It's all good though. It's okay. I don't judge you for it.
8 counts of contributing to the delinquency of a minor and taken to Cook County Jail. From what I can find, a little more than 2 years later, he had his bail of $36,000 paid by someone in California and was released awaiting trial. Now, I'm going to take the next 2 paragraphs from Wikipedia verbatim because, they're accurate for once. In December 1976, he was sentenced to 4 years in prison and sent to Pontiac Correctional Center. Shortly before he was released on bail, Norman began his next sex operation,
this guy!
Like from the name of the video. And began publishing a newsletter called Hermes. From Cook County Jail, Norman sent out 3 newsletters using the jail's printing press, claiming the Delta Project aimed to provide educational, travel, and self-development opportunities for qualified young men of character and integrity, and that Delta dorms were being established across the U.S., with each dorm having 2 to 4 cadets, overseen by a Don. Let me repeat that. He was publishing the Kid Sex newsletter and catalog from prison. Good God. Anyway, police alleged that the cadets were underage male prostitutes recruited in Chicago. Yeah, no shit. In a May 1977 interview with the Tribune, Norman denied that Project Delta was sexual in nature and claimed to have sent the newsletter to over 7,000 people. At the time of the interview, police said the newsletter had 5,000 subscribers and grossed over $300,000 per year. That's a lot in 1970s money. And also, if it's not sexual, why are people buying a newsletter? You usually like have to unsubscribe from those. Like you can't even give those away. Norman was paroled in the fall of 1977, but was arrested again in Chicago in June 1978 for having sex with 2 underage boys from a local foster home and taking pornographic pictures of both. One of the boys informed investigators that Norman was in the process of selling him to a client, and Norman was simply waiting for his plane ticket. Norman was accused of refounding the Delta Project, now called the Creative Corps and MC Publications. Norman was accused of refounding the Delta Project, now called the Creative Corps and MC Publications, after being released from prison and operating it out of his apartment on West Wrightwood Avenue, allegedly sending photos of the... Oh, fuck, that scared me. Allegedly sending photos of the boys to a Dawn in Canada. In a raid of the apartment, 20,000 more pink index cards, or possibly 50 to 100,000, containing the names of customers, were found.
He smokes Newports, of course.
In 1977, while Norman was still imprisoned, the victim who testified against Norman, leading to his conviction, was stabbed to death while walking home. The primary person of interest in this murder is the next moving part to come into play, a man by the name of Philip Paskey. Paskey was a career criminal and sex offender known for his proclivity towards violence. He worked as the manager of MC Publications' mailing operation and took over the whole operation temporarily while Norman was in prison. Paskey was described as being Norman's closest associate and second in command. He was also described as being, quite tall, with bad skin and a pockmarked face, as well as having a tendency to cross-dress.
Oh, weird.
Inexplicably not go to prison.
It's weird how all these, old 70s, 60s, 70s, 80s predators were also cross-dressers. And how... weirdly, all the people on the fucking left all collectively just decided that if you're a cross-dresser, it means that you're allowed to go into women's restrooms and be around kids.
Despite a very long criminal record, with charges...
We should trust children with men in dresses the same as we trust children with mothers or with women, because... those dudes in dresses are actually women, so they have a maternal instinct. I swear to fucking Christ, this fucking country.
For things ranging from drug possession to assault, to illegal fireworks, to assault, to assault, to assault, to murder. It doesn't appear that he
Those were absolutely Newports, dog.
For things in association towns. To his 70, or possibly 50 to 100,000, containing the names of customers, were found.
Yeah, those are Newports. I could see how you would mistake them for American Spirits, because, when you just see the bottom of the box or half of it, and it's with his color grading, it looks like blue. I smoked Newports for years, dog. The box speaks to me. That the Newport box is iconic.
Years probation, so...
I really want, really want, an Ibanez RG where the body is painted like the lower part of a Newport box and the headstock is white. That shit would go so hard, dog.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. Alright, now back to our buddy Pennywise. Recall that John Wayne Gacy ran a contracting business called PDM Contractors. There are a couple of interesting names that pop up when you look into his employees. Number 1, Michael Rossi. Rossi was an employee of his that was implicated in his testimony as a possible accomplice to the murders and who admitted to helping dig the trenches under his house used to bury the bodies. Rossi's maternal grandfather, however, was the famously or infamously mob-connected Chicago alderman Vito Mazzullo. Corruption? In Chicago politics?
No!
Gacy's strong ties to the Chicago Democratic Party. This is an interesting connection, given the possibility of mob involvement in distribution of content. Next up, let's look at another one of Gacy's employees, one Philip Paskey. Oh, from a minute and 38 seconds ago. Yep, Philip Paskey was not only employed by PDM Contractors, he also lived with Gacy, and was reportedly one of his closest friends. Additionally, according to witness testimony, when together with Gacy, Paskey was the one calling the shots and seemed to be in charge. Alright, now on to what you've been waiting for. The man of the hour, or at least the man of the previous video, Lieutenant Colonel Michael Aquino. I touched on the Franklin scandal a bit, but let's take a quick look at Johnny Gosch, a missing boy whose kidnapping was allegedly orchestrated by Michael Aquino. Paul Bonacci, who won a $1 million civil suit against Lawrence King, pointed to Aquino as the supposed ringleader of the operation and eventually wound up meeting with Gosch's parents to provide them with information relating to the kidnapping of their son. Specifically relevant here is that one of the people involved with the actual kidnapping itself was a man by the name of Troy. Let's hear his description of Troy, according to the court testimony. Interesting. That rings a bit of a bell here. Let's take a look at a composite police sketch of Troy from the investigation of a...
Wait, what did... Hold on.
That rings a bit of a... Troy, according to the court testimony. Interesting. That rings a bit of a bell here. Let's take a look at a composite police sketch of Troy from the investigation of a different kidnapping in which he was believed to have taken part, and that Bonacci immediately and very confidently picked out of a lineup. Huh. Looks like Philip Paskey. Oh, from like 1 minute and 38 seconds ago. Okay, let's move on to the last and, quite frankly, weirdest piece of the puzzle. We have an explanation for how Gacy may have been connected to the mob. We have an explanation for how Gacy was connected to Norman. We have proof that Gacy was connected to Paskey, proof that Coral was connected to Norman. But is there any connection that Norman had to the Dallas mob? Well, let's take a look at one of Norman's rental properties and see if there's any notable Dallas mobsters who lived there. God damn it! Yeah, that Jack Ruby. Turns out, Jack Ruby was a pretty well-known Dallas area mobster.
No, Jack!
And Chicago mob, owning a nightclub and having a reputation for being able to put people in contact.
Yeah, see, the mob was involved in all kinds of illegal shit, and one of the things that mobsters don't want you to know that they were involved in was selling child porn.
With those who can supply what they wanted, whether it be drugs or fellows. Alright, so where was John Norman at the time of this? Oh, Dallas, I guess that makes sense. Let's see, did Ruby make any notable trips near the end of 1962? Oh, Houston. Awesome. When did Coral move there? Oh, of course, a couple months earlier in 1962. Side note, he also made a stop through New Orleans on the way, which is repeatedly referenced in the Paskey FOIA files as being mentioned in the same breath as Chicago, Dallas, and Houston in regards to this trafficking ring, but I don't really know what the deal is with that. I'm still looking into that. Alright, so this gets into the area of just conjecture at this point, but I wonder if there's anything notable that Jack Ruby did that he would prefer to go to jail for and be known for, and not talk about ever, as compared to going to jail for some other things that he did and being known for those things. It seems like a pretty good way to ensure that someone sticks to the story if you just find someone where the reality of what they actually did was notably less popular. So, what happened to the various involved parties? Where are they now? Well, Gacy was arrested in 1978 and executed by lethal injection in 1994. Dean Coral was killed at the scene of his crimes. Coral's accomplices, Brooks and Henley, were given life sentences. Jack Ruby went on to do something unrelated and then got hit with the cancer ray before he had a chance to testify.
Cool.
John Norman would continue to keep distributing the same sort of material throughout the 80s before being arrested again in 1987. In 1999, the state of California declared Norman a sexually violent predator and committed him to Atascadero State Hospital with a statement from his psychiatrist saying, John is an unrepentant adult male sex offender who, in my opinion, will go to his grave without any remorse for what he had done. He remained at Atascadero until 2008, when he was released. Now, what he did next might shock you. He was released and immediately went and started trying to download illegal pornography, and posted a classified ad seeking a young male roommate for companionship and sex, and got caught passing a sexually inappropriate note to a young-looking male grocery store clerk. Following this, he was recommitted to Coalinga State Hospital, where he died later. Philip Paskey never saw the inside of a prison cell and died in Chicago in 1998, with little known about the circumstances.
Cool.
Anyways, I don't really know where to go from here, other than that this is a weird, sad, fucked up story. Like and subscribe.
All right. That Tommy Wright track is pretty banging. Let's see here. I want to see if this RG customizer will let me. I'm just trying to get the Newport thing off the horns. Can I get rid of the top color? All right, come on. Tell me that's not rad. Tell me that wouldn't be a rad fucking guitar. Hold on. I know how to fix it, though. This... obviously, it's a Prestige. Perfect. Bro. That would be the sickest fucking... hold on. Let me... No, not the pickup. I want the hardware. There's the bridge. Honestly, I kind of would prefer... No, let's not. What? I can't change. Do they not have like just a straight hardware color thing? That seems like kind of a fucking Oh, there it is. Bam! Oh, that's fucking rad. Where are the pickups? Pick guard. Oh, hold up. It's like a darker green. Or, sorry, a bluer green. I don't know what I said. Perfect. Gold pickups. God damn it. Perfect. Ha! Bro, that shit goes so hard. Yeah, stainless steel, top dots. No, we're going shark tooth, dog. Based. There's my Newport RG. Ooh, what is that neck heel? Hold on. Hold on. Body back, material ash. Thank you. I guess you can't change the neck heel. Frets? No, it does. Okay, it disconnected for like 2 seconds. No, you can't do the Evo Gold frets. It's only stainless steel or regular. I wonder what... Here, hold on. Well, first of all... Newport RG. Bro, that shit goes hard, dog. What other bodies do... Oh, they only do the RG and the PGM? Gross. It looks a million times better with the pick guard. It needs the pick guard. It needs it. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. That shit goes so hard, bro. How much for this? Oh god. Ibanez would never make this guitar. They would never ever make that. They would maybe if Steve Vai fucking like asked them for it, they would make it, but that's about the only person they would ever make this guitar for. Ibanez doesn't Ibanez doesn't have an open custom shop. A lot of brands do. I don't know if Jackson still has an open custom shop since, like, the Fender thing. Is Jackson Guitars custom shop still open to public? Nope, you cannot order Jackson Guitars, custom shop guitars anymore direct as a regular dude. Back in the, like, before they sold to Fender, and, like, for a few years after they were owned by Fender, because, like, when Jackson originally sold to Fender, they were basically allowed to do their own thing still. They basically were the same company for the most part for a few years. And then slowly they just got devoured by the Fender conglomerate, or fucking who owns, like, it wasn't, hold on. Yeah. Servco Pacifica. Who was the last owner? God, fucking Braves AI sucks dick. Okay. So when I along the way somewhere, fucking, they just got completely devoured. And now since 2020, hold on, let me ask a follow-up question. Oh, okay. Well, never mind. I thought they had just closed Jackson Custom Shop for, like, to the public because they were just, like, closing the public. Like, they were just closing the fucking the custom shop. They aren't. They have an extreme backlog of orders apparently for the Jackson Custom Shop because they kept the same small team from oh god, I have to change that trim arm to be gold. Actually, you know what? Hold on. Get ignorant. Yes, replace it. Okay, so they have a wait list where basically the last dude who ordered a guitar for from Jackson's Custom Shop isn't gonna get it for at least 4 years. For like how, and they were very expensive too. Like for getting like just a basic ass fucking like custom Rhodes V with like nothing really special about it, just like a top they don't offer and like a color they don't offer off the fucking on their regular like production models, with nothing extra, just because it's built by the Jackson Custom Shop, which by the way does mean you're gonna get the best fucking Jackson on the face of the fucking planet. God damn it, did my screenshot fuck up? Because I want to post that later. Like, god damn it, it changed my pickups back for some fucking reason. It keeps doing that. Like, it was like 10 grand for like a basic ass fucking Rhodes V with a fucking top and a paint job. Like, it was retarded expensive. And it was like 10 grand in like 2011. Or like, no, not 2011, like 2008. When I was playing with their fucking pricing thing, when I was supposed to be doing school shit and computer classes. Like, Jackson Custom Shop was so fucking expensive. But the way Ibanez's Custom Shop works is the only way you can get any Ibanez Custom Shop anything is if you're an endorsed artist. And when you become an endorsed artist, I think they give you like depending on your turn, it's different for everybody, but depending on who you are and how bad they want you and what's going on with fucking your career and shit, they give you like a couple guitars off the bat for free. Most of the metalcore dudes, like in shit like that, like, you know, like basic metal guys and shit that get Ibanez endorsements, and like they give you tour guitars. They don't give you anything that's like crazy. You're not getting this, you know, for your free guitar that the LA Custom Shop does. They give you like basic ass, like a fucking black guitar with black heart. Like, if you go on Reverb here, you can buy like fucking used fucking LA Custom Shops all over the fucking place. They pop up all the time because they're really not like, they're not like amazing. So this is an LACS fucking Ibanez. This is like basically what they're building. Doesn't tell who the original owner is, but like they're tour guitars. It's like super duper basic shit that's not like anything crazy. They just want their name on the headstock when you're playing live. Like, the only wild thing about this guitar is that it's a neck through. $8,000. Because it's got the LACS. Well, it doesn't even have the LACS logo. What the fuck? It has it on the back of the headstock. They didn't even take a picture of the fucking the logo. Like, that logo on the back is, this is a special guitar, basically. There you go. That's the LACS logo. Well, one of them. But, like, it's just, they're just basic guitars, dude. There's nothing, like, crazy about them. More often than not. These had to have been for the same guy. That's really rad, though. That is a fucking rad guitar. There's an LACS bass. That's an old-ass fucking bass. Who the fuck is Greg Chasen? Canadian, most notably Badlands, which featured... Oh, he's the bassist for Jakey Lee. Oh, that's rad. That guitar's still for sale? This is Dave Wiener's guitar. Yeah, Dave Wiener's gear closet. Dave Wiener has a bunch of stuff for sale. Oh, dude, he's got the other one. Hell yeah, that's rad. Dave Wiener is Steve Vai's rhythm guitarist. I don't know if he still is, but he was Dave's rhythm guitarist for a long fucking time, dude. This kid went to fucking, well, kid, he's like 40. This dude went to MIT, the Musicians Institute of Technology, in its guitar program in LA, and like MIT is the like the industry's like place for just like they actually hold auditions in MIT. It's like the reason you actually go to MIT. Like you go to MIT and you can make money off of playing guitar for the rest of your life. They hold like auditions and shit in MIT, and then like big names come through, and like you don't even know who you're auditioning for. You just go up and play guitar, and then at the end of it, they go, "Oh yeah, by the way, Michael Jackson wants you for his tour," and like it's in their shit, like if you get like a tour or something, or like you get hired by somebody, you can go to the school and go like, hey, like fucking I got hired, and they'll put your shit on like hiatus, and you know, like it's not like you're quitting or anything. Like they'll let you like accumulate credits through like, you know, different extracurricular means, and then you can come back and finish after the tour if you even want to. But yeah, like Orianthi that played with fucking Michael Jackson, she was MIT. Like anytime you see like just some guitarist with like a pop star who's just fucking shredding, like he came from MIT. Like Steve Vai found fucking Dave Weiner by going to an audition, like setting up an audition thing and picking him up from it. Like, fucking Paul Gilbert was teaching at MIT when he was, like, 18. The price of the... what? I had a bright pink Hamer. It was a great act. I love pink guitars. I have one of these, the RG1XXB. I have one of these bad boys, and I love her. Her name is Penny, and she's one of my favorite guitars I've ever owned. Her neck is so tiny. She has such a tiny, tiny, itty-bitty little neck on her. It's fantastic. I have small hands, and, like, for a guitarist, and, I can't, like, play, like, thumb over shit. It's just out of the question for me for a lot of things. Like Jimi Hendrix style chords where you're, like, thumb overing on, like, a fucking, on the E. And then fucking, like, fretting a chord with the rest of your hand and shit like that and leaving open notes and all that jazz. It's fucking out of the question for me. This is the only guitar I have or have ever played... Well, no, that's not true. My dad has an Adrian Vandenberg signature guitar. The dude from Whitesnake. Yeah, my dad has one of these. This exact guitar. And my pink RG and this guitar are the only two guitars I can play Hendrix on. Like, I can play it. It's just every neck is too big. I love this guitar so much. Oh my god. Its neck is so tiny. It's wild. It has the tiniest little neck on it. No, my dad actually doesn't have this exact one. That's a different bridge than my dad has. My dad's had... No, it's not that one, because this is the new one. My dad's Vandenberg was like fucking mint condition since he had bought it in like the first year they came out, which I guess is 88. And he had the guitars on the wall, like in the like they were hanging on the wall in this corner, and the dumbass set my brother's drum set up in front of, like, in that corner. And fucking my little brother was, like, swinging his drumsticks around all wild and being a dumbass, and fucking busted the front of this guitar up, like, all over the place, dog. Yeah, I'm not seeing the bridge that he has on any of these. Maybe I'm just mistaken. Because it is a collar on his. I don't know. Maybe that is the bridge. Because, like, it's a collar trim that's more like a Floyd Rose than, like, what you think when you think collar. And, I know it has, like, collar on all the fucking parts and shit, but I don't remember it looking like that. It's such a rad guitar. He has two of the, I think he has an X2N DiMarzio in the bridge. In the neck pickup, he has a single coil that's made by this dude who's, like, this super duper based French dude. Like, he's hyper based, and he moved to America because, like, to quote him, France is for faggots.
Wow.
And him and his wife hand wind pickups for very, very good prices. I really hope they're still making pickups because I want some. They're so good, dude. Yeah, hell yeah, they're still making pickups. I think they sell them through Etsy because my fucking dad recommended Etsy to him. My dad started buying pickups from him when he was, like, just starting out. And, or, like, when he was, like, still, like, really small. Like, I think he'd been building pickups for a while, but he just hadn't, like, taken off yet. Now he makes a pretty decent living fucking selling pickups. And, like, I don't know, they just fucking got along and struck up a fucking friendship and shit. And, like, now he's been fucking, you know, building pickups for my dad for fucking years now, and, like, he makes, like, fucking, like, dude, he just does whatever the fuck my dad asks him for, like, and he does it for, like, $80 a pickup. My dad has, like, so many pickups that, like, aren't even in guitars now because fucking he just, like, keeps fucking around with different pickups and shit. And, like, dude, I swear to Christ, like, they are some of the best pickups on the face of the fucking planet. And, like, a humbucker, a pickup set from him costs $200. $200 for a hand wound, like, scatter wound pickups. Basically, like, his pickups are absolutely 100% in every way, shape, and form comparable to, like, bare knuckle pickups. And to give you an idea of, like, the difference in prices, let's just pick up, like, all of their pickups are, like, the same. Here, let me go to the buy now thing. A set of pickups from Bare Knuckle is 292 euros. So it's like 350, something like that, around there, 340, I think. Let me see. 292 euro to USD. Yeah, 338 for a set of pickups. Joss does them for fucking 200, and they are every bit as good or better than fucking bare knuckle pickups. I will fucking stand by that, dog. All of his shit is fucking gnarly. I've played his hippie single coil. It's great. The raw neck is a great pickup. The one that my dad uses is the bucking bull. I don't even know if he still has that. Huh. My dad uses a bucking bull bridge and an Angel King neck. And like the Angel King actually came from my dad, if I remember him correctly. The Angel King was like a pickup that Joss wound for the neck of my dad's Les Paul. Yeah, I know. Go ahead. Throw out the jokes. He didn't sell it for a while, and eventually he started selling it. Like, it was like a year or two after he built that first one that he started selling it. Damn, he doesn't have any bucking bulls listed. I wonder if he just stopped making those, or if it got, like, turned into a different pickup. Huh. Fuck, man, I want to get some fucking pickups. I just want to swap everything I have with fucking his shit. And he does, like, anything for covers. Like, if you just email him and ask him, like, he'll do anything. He's done, like, wood bobbins and shit. He does colors. He'll do fucking literally anything. If you send him a material that you want, he'll fucking make pickups with it. I think he even does rewinds. Like, if you have, like, an old Ibanez with, like, a fucking colored pickup, and you want the same color, but you want a new pickup, you can send him the parts, and he'll rewind them. Oh, that's cool. He has, like, little nice cases that they come in now. That's rad. Brandon Saab said, I would love to hear Pops V play. My dad's like a fucking old school, like, thrash metal guy. Like, my dad's like an old, like, metal shredder, dog. Like, he plays, like, fucking... If I had to compare my dad to, like, a guitarist, I think it would be, like almost like Chris Poland from Megadeth.
That's a fun thing to do. It's the SRP.
Dude, I've never thought about this before, but my dad does play like Chris Poland, like a lot. like a lot. But he's way better with a trim. How much for bare knuckle? Yeah, bare knuckle pickups are like fucking $340, and fucking Joss will give you a whole a set for 200. Like, please God, if you need new pickups, go buy some Domingers, and just email him, dude. Like, fucking, like, don't just go buying them. Email him. And be like, hey, I'm looking to buy some pickups. I was recommended these pickups by this asshole on the internet. He said your shit is awesome. Fucking, like, I'm tell him what kind of pickups you're looking for, or what, like, I'm looking for like not a high gain or a super high gain or this or that, and he'll tell you which fucking pickups like you should buy. Because I think the descriptions are pretty. Like, that just says pure brown sound. So I think the Rising Sun is his, like, Eddie Van Halen-ish kind of fucking bridge pickup. Warlord, bridge or neck model, extreme power while very delicate, detailed, and fluid. Okay, yeah, just email him. I know on his website, I think he has better, like, descriptions of what everything is. But, like, email the nigga. Or like, go on Etsy. You can message people on Etsy. Like, just hit him up and be like, hey, I fucking, this is what I'm looking for. He might even be fucking cool. And if you're spending money on a set, or you're buying a couple sets of pickups, he might even just fucking custom wind them for you, dude. Like, he's pretty fucking cool, and he's very flexible, and, like, he can do fucking anything if you pay him for it. And, like, I mean, like, I've asked him before while, like, my dad was on the phone with him, like, what he'd be willing to do. And, like, there wasn't anything, like, I was asking him about wood bobbins and shit, and, like, fucking, doing, like, weird fucking wines on things and shit like that, and fucking, and he was like, dude, I'll do it. I don't care. Whatever. I don't give a shit. Like, fucking, he was willing to wind 7-string Telecaster pickups, dog. He does not give a shit. There is nothing that you're gonna find that he's not willing to fucking do for you. Play a lead, Chris! God damn it. Out of context guitar leads are hilarious, dude. Yeah, dude, my dad plays guitar, like, almost exactly like Chris Poland. That's pretty funny. And, like, he's not a huge fan of, like, Chris Poland or anything. Like, I think it's just fucking, like, they're around the same age, and, like, they probably have, like, practically all the same influences. Like, my dad's a big, like, fucking 80s metalhead guy. Like, 99% of the music that he consumes is, like, 80s and like 70s like metal and rock and shit, like fucking like certainly there were Megadeth albums in the house, but like I don't really remember my dad fucking like, you know, like whenever, like when people would come over and shit and everybody was drinking and hanging out and he was throwing CDs on, like I don't really remember him throwing fucking Megadeth on very often. Like usually what got thrown on was like Iron Maiden. Hey, YouTube, come over here. Cause I'm gonna want to start playing music and shit, and I don't want to fuck YouTube up. So I'm gonna end that in 2 seconds. I'm gonna go take a piss and play his solos, or just keep playing those annoying Chris Poland solos, and then I'll be right back. Hold on. Just let me end the fucking YouTube stream. I'm gonna post the link to make your guys' life easier to get over here, but come on over here where we can copyright law. Paste. There you go. Boney Tony needs to be a mod over there. That is moderator. Standard moderator. Okay, let me scroll up. Is there anybody else? Boo 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 boo. Boo 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 boo. Fucking Stoozy Stew, the asshole. He said way earlier, if you need any help with Death Stranding 2, let me know. I 100%ed it this morning. It's been out on PC for like fucking like a week. Alright. Marty Friedman was great in Megadeth. Marty Friedman was the best guitarist who's ever played in Megadeth. Marty Friedman is one of the best guitarists ever, and he is the weirdest fucking guitarist on the face of the planet. I'll get to that in 2 seconds too. We won't leave that on the table. I will take any opportunity to talk about Marty Friedman. Marty Friedman picking hand. All right, listen to Chris Poland play guitar, because it's basically like listening to my dad play guitar. Okay. I am back. I am going to kill the YouTube stream now. I love you guys. I am sorry I have to do it to you. God damn it. Did I close that window? Fucking retard. You fucking retard. You're a fucking retard. You do dumb shit. You should be hit. 'Cause you're a retard.